Look at that. This is, for those of you who don't know, a rear main seal. And this guy goes right back here. Now, again, for those of you who don't know, this stuff has to come off, which I didn't want to do because I thought this was going to take a lot longer to get here than it would have to put this engine in that. So I put the flywheel and the adapter plate on and the starter. So now we have to remove this to put that in. Yeah, I don't want to do it either, but I guess I might as well. So let's put some more headaches on our list of headaches that we have headaches for. Here I am looking over my whole damn area for one set of pliers, and I can't find them anywhere. Like, these aren't them, not these, they're the bigger than this. That's a drill, that's a battery, that's where you guys sit, and that's a light, but I couldn't find them anywhere. They're not over there, they're not over here, they're not in here, and I haven't touched anywhere else. There they are. Right there. Can't see them from here. No. There's too much garbage in this corner. So there's an issue. I'll show you. Now you see this oil drain tube, fancy one, goes up to the turbo here. My old one, which is this guy, just made of metal. Well, they're both made of metal, but steel or whatnot. She just comes down and connects to this hose, just like that, into this tube. Now, in order to use this one, as you could probably tell, it's a little long. I got to take this pipe out. But that pipe is not coming out very easy. So I think I'm going to honestly just put this tube back in and not use this one, because this system already works with the little pipe and everything. It already works, so why change it? Because yeah, this looks nice and shiny, but like, it's not coming out. I tried wrenches, I tried a hammer. Don't scratch the paint. I tried everything and that thing will not come out. So I think it's easier just to put the old one back in, and it works. Doesn't leak, nothing. If it does leak, just change a hose, real easy. So I guess I'm gonna have to take that back off. We got parts. All right. So in here, obviously, we got our bubble wrap and our grid heater. But you know, bubble wrap, that's pretty great. So that's awesome. And then, it's a tough box to get into. Gasket enclosed, do not discard. Seal front crank. What are these? Instructions, probably. Hydrodynamic type lip seals. I already know about that. Let's see what we got. Did we get a steel one or an... Okay, sweet. So we got the red one, which for those of you who don't know, the red ones require absolutely nothing. You put them in dry. The steel ones, which are noticeably made of steel, not this red, require a little bit of RTV or thread sealant to go around the lip as you put it in. It cannot be put in dry. But you cannot put RTV on these ones because it's already basically lubed up. So don't do that. And it came with an install tool, so that's awesome. And we got download color install manual. Oh, we don't need the color one. Hey, BD Diesel. Look at that. Sweet. Stickers. We love our stickers. Get. I cannot wait any longer. This is probably the worst god dang tool you could use to open up stuff. What are these? Engine brake. Limited warranty. What? Did I get an engine brake somehow? Guys, I think this is... Oh. Never mind, that's just talking about warranty. Installation manual. Ta-da. So that's what we want to avoid, is a cracked case. You can see that crack right there. Now this is the little plate that goes over the dowel. We're gonna grab our sticker without wrecking the damn thing. Look at that, BD Diesel Performance. Now, I wonder, Oh yeah. Why is there tape on the back of my sticker? Ah, now she's sitting nice and flat. BD Diesel. Not sponsored, but I should be. So this is all that it is. This little dowel. And this little guy. Literally, this is a replacement dowel if yours is missing. This little dowel sits in the motor, and this piece just covers it up. That's it. All it takes. Now you can literally make this yourself if you're so inclined. Nothing wrong with that, honestly. Like, it's a really good, cheaper alternative. But this kit includes damn near every gasket you could ever ask for. This one goes around timing, or yeah, timing cover. And I guess that's it. So that's cool. Why would they put this here if they don't expect you to dig around a little bit more? Anyways. Whew, that looks nice. I'm going to put that away before I break it. It's quite the box for not a lot of stuff. Quality. Now next is almost too big to fit on the table. It's an oil pan gasket. You know what that means. If we have a gasket, then we have an oil pan. So let's rip this bad boy open somehow. I'm gonna have to move you folks back and up a little bit. Almost damn near doesn't fit on camera. Step 1 to the instructions. Verify the oil pan is identical to the original part. Well, I know it's not because I have the wrong oil pan. Oh, yeah. Here it is. Our brand new oil pan. A little dusty. Looks like it's been sitting on the shelf for a while, but I wonder if that's the date. 12/11/2015. That's a little while ago. So this is an aftermarket pan because they don't make the factory ones no more. So it's painted, and I've heard that you're supposed to remove the paint from the inside if it's aftermarket. So I guess, unfortunately, we're gonna have to do that, but oil pan is here. So we got a few more things to do before they can actually go in the engine. We got to clean this. We got to put all the stuff together on the motor, and then we can put the motor in. Guys, it's so close to going in. Like, this is all we've been waiting for, and it's here. I just need some hoses to run coolant lines, and most of those I can get off the frickin' street sweeper over there. So it's coming together. It's coming together. So I was in dire need of something like this, a threaded insert with a ribbed nipple on top to go into the block of that spot where we pulled out those nasty tubes. And I just got to thinking, this piece here that I pulled off the engine has 3 damn nipples on it. Why on earth don't we try to pull them out and see if any of them will fit in the motor? So we're going to do that right now. This wrench happens to damn be the right size, which has happened a lot this episode, this show. And for this guy, oh, I need my good hand. We're just going to open this guy up, clamp her down. I'm going to adjust this because that is not a good spot for me. Holy frig. Those guys must have put some like freaking red Loctite in there or something. Holy. I don't know, there's something in there. It's yellow. Is there a yellow Loctite? Because, Jesus. Alright, let's go see if this fits in our block. Now, for those of you who don't know what I was talking about, it's this hole right here. And it looks like... Oh, that's going to be close. I don't know if the threads are the right size, though. It looks like this is coarse threads, and those are fine threads. Oh, no. I know it was hard to get stuff in there before. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, we might have something here. Let me get my wrench. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, boys and burls rather, she fits. She fits. That is awesome. So I don't actually have to go out and buy an end because I have a whole bunch here. This motor is an industrial one, which means it's quite different than other normal ones that are in a pickup truck, a Dodge pickup truck. And what I mean by that is there's pieces and bits and stuff that's just different. So, for example, on my motor, this bracket, damn it, focus. For example, on this motor here, this bracket wasn't here, which means the alternator bracket was mounted differently. This was mounted differently. This tube just came straight out of here. There was no bracket for the alternator. The alternator was held on by a custom bracket that came out like to way up here somewhere, and the alternator was high, and the AC was mounted differently, and this tube was just a single tube. It wasn't a whole bracket, and there's just pieces that are different. And another one is there shouldn't be a hole behind the motor mount, but there is on these. Another one is this oil drain tube and the exhaust manifold. The manifold right there actually puts the turbo in the exact same spot as this custom manifold does, which is perfect for a conversion. Otherwise, the turbo sits up here or over here. These ones put it down here, which tucks it away, which fits perfectly in those trucks. Now, the oil drain tube has to move, so they supply you with this custom bendable one, which I'm not using. I'm going to use the factory one because this factory one fits perfectly. Because normally this tube is straight up and this is all ran weird and interferes with the engine block or the engine mount. This one doesn't. So this one was perfect for the conversion. As well as the turbo actuator up there. You usually have to get a custom bracket and move it out of the way because it hits the block. This one, nothing. It already works. So it's perfect. So there's some things on this motor that don't work out quite as we want for the conversion. But then there's other stuff that like perfect already. Like it's like it was meant to go in. So I just needed to pick up a few little parts, some brackets on the side, a different fan, and it was almost half converted already. Like, it's pretty awesome. Oh, that was a gong show in there. So, I get all the bolts in a bag. Everything's good to go. And then I realized I forgot my wallet, so that sucked. I had to get the wife to come bring me my wallet. Yeah, just trying out our bolts here, and for our custom AC bracket we needed a recessed bolt, so I got one. Come on, focus camera, you can do it. Right there, those little black ones there. They kind of have an angled head. They're an Allen key, so those should work great. They'll slide in nice and flat for the AC. I don't know which one of the 4 holes it is, but I just put these here temporarily so I don't lose them. I got our bolts for the throttle. I don't know what size fits into there because I forgot to take the damn bolt, so I just brought 2. And thankfully I bought the little one because this guy looks too big to fit in there. Just too big. I mean, I can drill it out. I might actually just end up doing that because this bolt's a little small for my liking. But I could just, because that damn near fits in there. Like that could probably thread through there. It's how close it is. Actually, yeah, I might as well just take a drill and just bore that out a little tiny bit and fit the bigger one instead of the smaller guy, because I'd much rather the thicker bolt than, well, you can see the difference. I'd feel a bit safer with the thicker one anyways. So, we got a stripper here. Nah, it's just a paint stripper. So, this is going to help us get rid of the paint that is on our oil pan on the inside, because we don't want that gunk in there. Because you can watch videos on it, of it online, and believe me, you don't want it. The paint starts peeling up inside from just over. Sorry, I was just running. Anyways, the paint starts peeling up inside from just wear and tear of oil running through, and over time it starts peeling and ripping little chunks off, and then it plugs your filters, and sometimes it gets past, and then it gets into your engine, and it's, needless to say, it's not good. It can completely destroy your engine. So we're not going to do that. We're going to strip the paint off. So basically what I gathered from reading this can is that I got to spray it on and let it sit for 10 to 30 minutes. So, to actually spray paint on the surface to be stripped, the typical contact time is 10 to 30 minutes. Scrape off any loosened portions that may be necessary to reapply for complete removal. Well, let's start stripping. Well, that looks like it'll strip that paint pretty good. And you always want to make sure that when you're using this stuff and you're using it on somewhere like this, that you always do it right next to your $90,000 pickup truck. Those trucks love paint thinner or paint stripper. They love strippers. Super Duties love strippers.